comes a moment in life when everything you've been taught begins to feel small. The world says, go find a job. But deep within, the divine whispers something entirely different. Don't look for a job. Look for your purpose. This isn't about laziness or rebellion. It's about alignment. It's about stepping out of survival and into creation. The truth is, God didn't send you here merely to work for a paycheck. You were sent here to serve with your gifts, to express your soul, and to shine your light so brightly that others remember their own. You were not born to chase. You were born to create. There is a deep difference between chasing something and creating something. When you chase, you run after things that seem outside of you. Money, approval, opportunities, people, all while forgetting that everything you seek is already within you. But when you create, you tap into your divine power. You stop begging life to give you what you want and instead allow your inner light to shape the world around you. You become the artist of your destiny, not the victim of your circumstances. You see, chasing comes from fear. It is the voice of the mind that whispers, I am not enough yet. I need something more to be complete. And that voice never stops. The more you chase, the more it runs from you. Because what you are chasing is not real security or love or success. You're chasing validation. You are trying to prove your worth to a world that has already been commanded by God to reflect your inner beliefs. When you believe you are lacking, the world mirrors lack. But when you know you are complete, the world mirrors abundance. Creation, on the other hand, comes from faith. Creation flows naturally, effortlessly like a river returning to the ocean. It is the energy of alignment, not anxiety. When you create from love, you are not asking, will this work? You are simply saying, this is who I am. And the universe responds to that authenticity with miracles. Because the truth is, you were never meant to live your life chasing doors that are locked. You were meant to build your own door and let the divine walk through it with you. Every time you chase, you hand your power away. You say to the world, I need your permission to be worthy. But when you create, you reclaim that power. You begin to realize that you don't need permission to be great. You don't need approval to shine. You don't need to wait for someone to choose you. You have already been chosen by the Creator who designed you perfectly with purpose and intention. The most beautiful things in life are born through creation, not competition. Flowers do not chase sunlight. They grow toward it naturally because it's in their nature to bloom. The sun does not compete with the moon. Both rise when it's their time. And in the same way, you don't need to chase what belongs to you. You simply need to rise when your season arrives. But that requires trust. It requires a quiet knowing that what you desire is also desiring you. You are not here to convince life to give you more. You are here to align with the abundance that already exists. Everything you imagine in your heart is already real in another dimension. Creation begins in the invisible. So when you stop chasing and start creating, you begin to draw that invisible dream into visible reality. Let go of the idea that success comes only from effort, struggle, and exhaustion. Real success is an energy. It flows from alignment, peace, and authenticity. When your actions come from desperation, they carry the vibration of lack. But when they come from inspiration, they carry the vibration of creation. The world feels that energy. People are drawn to those who create from love because creation is the purest form of divine expression. You were created by God, which means you were designed to create. Not just art, not just work, but experiences, emotions, and meaning. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every emotion you release is shaping your life. So ask yourself, am I creating my life from love or from fear? Am I chasing what I don't have or building something beautiful from what I do? When you start to live as a creator, the energy around you shifts. Opportunities appear where there were none before. People are drawn to your calm, your confidence, your light. Because creators don't compete, they inspire, they don't follow, they lead with grace. They don't beg, they attract through the vibration of purpose. If you spend your life chasing approval, you'll always feel tired. But if you live your life creating value, you'll always feel fulfilled. Chasing is rooted in scarcity, the belief that there isn't enough for everyone. But creation is rooted in abundance, the knowing that your light can never be dimmed by another's glow. You were never meant to run after what you want. You were meant to raise your energy so high that what you want can find you with ease. This is what divine alignment looks like. You stop asking the world to fill your cup, and you begin pouring from your own overflowing spirit. You trust that your gifts are enough. You trust that the timing is perfect. You trust that the same force that makes the stars shine is guiding your path, even when you cannot see it. So today, stop chasing. Stop begging. Stop trying to force open doors that are not meant for you. Instead, go within. Ask your soul, what do I long to create? What do I love so deeply that I lose track of time when I do it? Then begin. Create from that sacred place, not because you need recognition, but because you were born to express the divine through your unique gifts. Remember this truth: what you create in faith will always find its place in the world. You are not here to chase after opportunities. You are here to create them. You are not here to struggle for love. You are here to embody it. You are not here to survive. You are here to shine. Your gift is your assignment. You were not sent to this world by accident. You were not born to simply exist, pay bills, and fade away quietly. You came here carrying something sacred, a unique energy, a divine frequency, a gift that no one else on this planet can express quite like you. That gift is not random. It is your soul's assignment, your divine work, the reason your heart beats the way it does. Every person has something placed within them that is meant to serve others. It might be your voice, your kindness, your creativity, your ability to bring peace, to heal, to teach, to build, to inspire. You might overlook it because it feels natural, effortless, or ordinary to you. But that's how divine gifts work. They feel simple to the one who carries them, yet they become light to those who receive them. What you call ordinary is what someone else is praying for. Your gift is not just what you're good at, it's what gives you life when you do it. It's that thing that makes your soul feel alive, that keeps calling you back no matter how many times you try to walk away. It's not forced, it flows. It's the gentle pull you feel when your heart says, "This is who I really am." And that inner pull is not a coincidence. It is divine guidance. It's God's way of showing you where you belong. Many people spend their lives searching for meaning, chasing things that never satisfy the soul. They work hard, they succeed, yet something still feels missing. That emptiness is a reminder, a whisper from within that says, "You've forgotten your gift." Because the truth is, no amount of money or fame can fill the space meant for your purpose. Only living your assignment can give you the peace your heart craves. The world needs your light. Your presence here is not an accident, it is a divine appointment. Every challenge you've faced, every tear you've cried, every lesson you've learned has been preparing you to use your gift. The pain you've endured was not meant to break you. It was meant to awaken you. Because sometimes your purpose is hidden in the very places that hurt you most. Out of heartbreak comes compassion. Out of failure comes wisdom. Out of loss comes the strength to help others rise. When you understand that your gift is your assignment, you stop comparing yourself to others. You realize that no one can do what you do in the way you do it. There's no competition in divine purpose. Flowers don't compete to bloom. They just open when it's their season. And so do you. Your only job is to nurture your seed, water it with love, and trust that in divine timing, it will blossom beautifully. You might wonder, how do I know what my gift is? It's simple. Pay attention to what makes your spirit come alive. What can you talk about for hours without getting tired? What makes you lose track of time? What comes easily to you but feels difficult to others? That is where your gift lives. And once you find it, the next step is to share it, not hide it, not doubt it, not compare it, but to use it boldly and joyfully, knowing it was given to you for a reason. Using your gift doesn't always mean quitting your job or changing your entire life overnight. It means bringing your true self into everything you do. It means showing up with intention, love, and authenticity, even in small moments. The teacher who listens with compassion, the mother who nurtures with patience, the artist who creates with love, the healer who touches lives through kindness. All are living their assignments. The moment you begin to use your gift, life begins to open. Doors that once seemed locked start to move. People who are meant to find you begin to appear. That's because the universe always supports authenticity. When you walk in your truth, you align with divine flow. You no longer chase opportunities, you attract them. You no longer seek validation, you carry peace. You no longer wonder why you're here, you simply know. Your gift will always make room for you. It might not happen instantly, but it will happen when you trust the process. The divine does not give gifts without purpose. Your assignment was written into your soul long before you took your first breath. Every day you walk in alignment with that purpose, you are fulfilling a sacred contract with the universe. Don't doubt your worth. Don't silence your voice. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. The world doesn't need another imitation. It needs you, the real you, the one who creates, who feels deeply, who dares to love, who brings light wherever they go. The world is waiting for what only you can give. So honor your gift. Protect it, cultivate it, share it with courage, not fear. Because the more you use it, the more it expands. And as it expands, your life expands with it. Joy, abundance, peace, and purpose begin to flow naturally when you're living your assignment. You stop wondering what your life is about and start living it fully, freely, intentionally. Remember, your gift is not just for you. It's for the world. You were chosen to carry it because only you could deliver it in the way it was meant to be expressed. The world is brighter when you shine. You are not here by accident. You are here by divine design. Your gift is your assignment. And when you honor it, you step into the flow of divine creation. You become a living expression of love itself. And that, more than anything else, is what you came here to be. Stop searching, start listening. You have spent so much of your life looking outside yourself for answers, searching for signs, for approval, for direction, for validation, for the next opportunity that promises happiness. You have run from one idea to another, one person to another, one plan to another, hoping that somewhere out there lies the peace you crave. But the truth is, what you are looking for has been within you all along. It's not hiding in the world, it's whispering in your soul. The more you search outwardly, the more disconnected you become from your own truth. Searching creates noise. It keeps your mind busy but your heart empty. It tells you that fulfillment is somewhere else. In another job, another relationship, another city, another version of yourself. Yet the more you chase, the farther you drift from the stillness where clarity lives. Listening, on the other hand, brings you back home. Listening is the act of surrender. It's the moment you stop asking life to shout and finally decide to hear its quiet guidance. There is a sacred intelligence within you, a voice of wisdom that never shouts, never forces, never begs. It speaks softly, through feelings, intuition, and quiet nudges. You've felt it before. That gentle pull in your heart that says, go this way. That subtle discomfort that says, not here. This voice doesn't argue or explain itself. It simply knows. And when you learn to trust that knowing, you stop wandering in confusion and begin walking in alignment. The reason most people can't hear their inner guidance is not because it isn't speaking. It's because the mind is too loud. The noise of fear, doubt, and comparison drowns out the whisper of truth. The mind says, you should be further along by now. The heart says, you're exactly where you need to be. The mind says, what if it doesn't work? The heart says, have faith. The mind wants control, the heart wants connection. When you stop searching, you quiet the mind long enough to remember who you are. The answers you've been running after are not found in books, in advice, or in the opinions of others. They are found in your silence. When you are still, when you breathe, when you let go of needing to know everything, something magical happens. The noise settles, and what's real begins to rise to the surface. It's in that silence that divine guidance flows. The voice of your intuition becomes clear, calm, and strong. It doesn't come from thinking, it comes from listening. Listening is not passive. It's a sacred practice. It requires faith to be still in a world that glorifies movement. It takes courage to wait when everyone else is rushing, but the soul doesn't move in haste. The soul moves in rhythm, in divine timing. When you slow down and listen, you begin to see that everything is already unfolding exactly as it should. You start to understand that every delay, every detour, every silence was not a punishment, but a preparation. You are being guided in every moment, even when it doesn't feel like it. The universe is always speaking, but not in the way the world does. It speaks through synchronicities, through intuition, through that quiet knowing that says, something about this feels right, or something about this doesn't. It speaks through peace, for anything that is truly meant for you will never come with chaos. If you have to force it, it's not aligned. If it brings you peace, it's yours. When you stop searching, you stop grasping for what isn't meant for you. You stop trying to make things happen and start allowing them to unfold. Life becomes lighter, easier, more graceful. You begin to flow instead of fight. You learn to trust that you don't have to chase what's already destined for you. Listening brings you back to faith. The quiet confidence that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. Listening also teaches you patience. The answers you seek may not come all at once, but they will come when you are ready to receive them. Just as seeds take time to grow, your guidance unfolds step by step. You may only see the next step, not the whole path, but that's enough. Because faith doesn't require the whole picture. It only asks that you trust the process. The greatest wisdom will never come from the outside world. It comes from the space between your thoughts, from the stillness of your spirit. That's where truth lives. That's where peace lives. And that's where God whispers your next step. When you make time to listen, really listen, you begin to feel a deep calm that no amount of searching could ever give you. You realize that you were never lost, only distracted. You were never lacking, only disconnected from your inner guidance. So stop searching, stop running, stop believing that your fulfillment depends on what you can find out there. Instead, go within, close your eyes, breathe, feel the quiet rhythm of your own heartbeat. That's the universe speaking through you. That's the voice of the divine saying, "Be still." Everything you need is already within you. The answers you are chasing are not somewhere else. They are waiting patiently inside you. You only need to slow down enough to hear them. Trust that your soul knows the way. Trust that your intuition will never mislead you. The path you seek is not in front of you, it is unfolding through you. When you finally stop searching and start listening, you'll discover that peace isn't something you find. It's something you remember. Guidance isn't something you beg for. It's something you awaken to. And life isn't something you have to figure out. It's something you allow to reveal itself to you, one beautiful moment at a time. The universe rewards faith, not fear. Every moment of your life, you are broadcasting a signal through your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy. That signal tells the universe what to send back to you. When your signal is filled with fear, fear of not having enough, fear of being rejected, fear of losing control, you send out a vibration of lack and uncertainty. But when your signal is filled with faith, the quiet confidence that all things are working in your favor, you align yourself with abundance, love, and divine timing. The universe is not responding to your words, it is responding to your energy. Faith is not pretending that everything is perfect. It's trusting that even when things look uncertain, there is a higher order unfolding. It's choosing to believe that the delay is not denial, that the closed door is protection, that the waiting season is preparation. Fear will tell you to panic, to rush, to doubt yourself. Faith whispers, "Be still." What's meant for you cannot miss you. The universe moves according to that energy. Not the energy of worry, but the energy of trust. When you live in fear, you shrink. You close yourself off from possibilities because you're afraid of what might go wrong. You settle for less because you don't believe more is possible. You try to control everything because you don't trust that life knows what it's doing. Fear blocks blessings because it creates resistance. It tells the universe, "I don't believe I am safe. I don't believe I am supported." And so life mirrors that back to you. The situations you attract, the people you meet, the experiences you have, all echo the vibration of your belief. Faith, however, opens doors that logic cannot explain. When you walk in faith, you release control and allow the divine to lead. You stop trying to force outcomes and start trusting the flow. You understand that what is meant for you doesn't need to be chased, it needs to be aligned with. Faith says, "I may not see the path, but I know it's here." And when you hold that energy, unseen forces begin to work in your favor. The right people show up. The right opportunities appear. Synchronicities begin to guide your every move. It's not that fear doesn't come. It's that you learn not to feed it. Everyone feels fear. But faith is the decision to listen to the higher voice within you instead of the voice of worry. It's choosing to speak words of trust even when the evidence around you seems uncertain. The universe hears both voices, the one rooted in fear and the one rooted in faith, and it will amplify whichever one you give the most attention to. When you focus on fear, you create more reasons to be afraid. When you focus on faith, you create more reasons to believe. It's a spiritual law. Whatever you water will grow. So when doubt rises in your mind, when things seem unclear, when nothing seems to be moving, that is your moment to practice faith. That is the test that precedes transformation. The universe is not punishing you. It is asking, do you trust me even here? Faith doesn't mean doing nothing. It means acting from peace instead of panic. It means making choices from alignment, not anxiety. It's waking up and saying, even if I don't see how, I know the way will appear. Fear looks at the obstacle and says, it's impossible. Faith looks at the same obstacle and says, with divine guidance, anything is possible. One energy closes the door, the other opens it wide. There have been times in your life when you didn't know how things would work out, yet somehow they did. You've faced storms that you thought would break you, but they shaped you instead. You've had moments where everything fell apart, only to realize later that life was rearranging itself for something better. That is proof of divine faithfulness. The same power that carried you before is carrying you now. The universe has never failed you. It has only redirected you. Fear wants evidence before it believes. Faith believes before it sees. Fear looks to the external world for reassurance. Faith looks within and says, I am guided, I am safe, I am supported. When you shift from fear to faith, everything around you begins to shift too. Life responds differently when you believe in your own light. People sense your confidence, opportunities feel drawn to your peace, and blessings flow naturally toward your calm energy. You don't manifest through effort alone, you manifest through alignment. And alignment is the byproduct of faith. It's standing in the middle of uncertainty and declaring, I choose to trust. It's releasing the need to know how things will happen and simply knowing they will. That vibration is powerful. That vibration attracts miracles. The universe is always listening. It feels your energy more deeply than it hears your words. So when you move through life believing that everything is working out for you, it begins to move mountains in your favor. It rearranges circumstances, shifts timelines, and brings opportunities that seem impossible. Faith makes the impossible possible because it tells the universe, I am ready to receive. So whenever fear whispers in your ear, when it tells you to worry, to give up, to doubt your worth, remember this truth: the universe rewards faith, not fear. It always has. Every blessing you've ever received came from a moment of faith. Every breakthrough you've experienced was born in the space between fear and surrender. Trust that the same divine energy that made the stars also guides your path. You don't have to know every detail. You just have to believe. You just have to keep showing up with faith in your heart, gratitude in your soul, and peace in your spirit. Because when you live in faith, you are no longer chasing blessings. You become the blessing. And the universe will always reward that energy with more than you could ever imagine. Don't work for money, work for meaning. The world has taught us to measure success by the size of our paycheck, the title on our business card, or the possessions we collect. We've been conditioned to believe that the more we earn, the more valuable we become. But deep within, Something feels off about that way of living. Because even when the bank account grows, the heart still feels empty. Even when the goals are achieved, there's a quiet ache that whispers, there must be more to life than this. And that whisper is right, because your soul was never meant to work only for money. It was meant to work for meaning. Money is a tool, not a purpose. It was designed to flow, to support, to serve. But when money becomes the reason you wake up every day, you lose touch with your deeper self. You begin to live mechanically, chasing deadlines instead of dreams, collecting paychecks instead of peace. You trade your energy for survival rather than creation. And while the world may applaud your success, your spirit begins to starve. Because fulfillment doesn't come from what you earn. It comes from what you give, from the way you serve others through the essence of who you are. Working for meaning doesn't mean rejecting money. It means putting money back in its rightful place, as a servant, not a master. When you align your work with your purpose, money becomes a natural byproduct, not the main pursuit. The universe always supports those who serve with love. When your intention is pure, when your work uplifts others, abundance begins to flow in ways you could never plan or force. Think about the moments when you felt truly alive. It wasn't because you were paid. It was because you were connected to your passion, to your creativity, to the deeper purpose of what you were doing. Maybe it was helping someone, creating something beautiful, solving a problem, or sharing your light with the world. That feeling of joy and flow, that's meaning. That's the soul saying, this is what I came here to do. When you work for money alone, fear becomes your constant companion. You worry about losing your job, not being enough, not having enough. Every decision becomes controlled by the thought of scarcity. But when you work for meaning, you move from fear to faith. You know that what you give with love will always return to you multiplied. You understand that the universe is abundant and that your needs are always met when your intentions are aligned with service. There's a sacred difference between doing something to get and doing something to give. When you work to get, you are focused on the outcome, the paycheck, the recognition, the reward. When you work to give, you focus on the process, the love, the creativity, the expression of your soul. And the truth is, those who give from their hearts never run out of opportunities because the world always needs more light. You were born with gifts, and those gifts are not random. They are your divine tools for contribution. The more you use them in service of others, the more fulfilled you become. That's the meaning behind your work. Whether you are teaching, creating, healing, building, or leading, when you bring your authentic energy into it, you turn ordinary labor into sacred purpose. Every act becomes an expression of love. Every task becomes a prayer of gratitude. The most successful people are not the ones who chase money. They are the ones who chase purpose. They wake up excited, not because of what they'll earn, but because of what they'll create and who they'll become in the process. They understand that real wealth is freedom, freedom to live authentically, to give generously, to rest peacefully, to love deeply. And that kind of wealth is something no amount of money can buy. When you work for meaning, you stop needing external validation. You stop chasing the next promotion or comparing yourself to others. You begin to measure success differently, in moments of peace, in the joy of creation, in the gratitude you feel at the end of each day. You realize that true success is not about how much you accumulate, but how much you awaken. You might ask, But what if my work doesn't feel meaningful right now? The answer is not to quit everything, but to bring meaning into where you are. Begin by shifting your energy. Work with love. Do it as an act of service. Be kind, be patient, be present. When you infuse your work with intention, even the smallest task becomes sacred. The universe responds to energy, not job titles. The vibration you bring to your work is what determines what comes next. Meaningful work begins with gratitude. When you are grateful for where you are, you create space for something greater. Gratitude turns routine into joy and work into worship. From that vibration, new ideas emerge, new doors open, and abundance flows effortlessly. The more you honor your purpose, the more the universe honors you. Remember, you were not born to survive. You were born to serve. You are not here to work endlessly for paper. You are here to use your time, energy, and gifts to make the world a little brighter. When you do that, the universe takes care of your needs. You will never lack what you need when you live from your soul. So stop working only for money. Work for meaning, work for joy, work for growth, work for love, because at the end of your life, it won't be your bank balance that fulfills you. It will be the lives you touched, the peace you carried, and the light you left behind. When you live and work from meaning, you never really work again. You simply express who you truly are, and that is where true abundance begins. Your life is not a series of random events. It is a sacred journey designed with precision by a higher intelligence that knows exactly what you need, when you need it, and how it will shape you into the person you were meant to become. Every step, every detour, every delay, and every moment of confusion is not a setback. It is a part of your divine career. You were never meant to fit into someone else's definition of success. You are here to unfold, to evolve, and to express the divine essence that lives within you. Many people spend their lives searching for the perfect job, the perfect title, or the perfect paycheck, believing that these things will finally give them a sense of purpose. But life is not about climbing ladders built by others. It's about discovering the sacred staircase built within your soul. The true career is not what you do from 9 to 5. It's who you become through every experience, every lesson, and every act of faith. The divine does not measure your worth by your job title, your achievements, or your income. You are not here to compete. You are here to complete the purpose for which you were born. Your career, in truth, began the moment you took your first breath. From the moment you opened your eyes, life began teaching you, shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for the work that only your soul can do. The universe doesn't hire you based on your RA, SUME. It calls you based on your readiness to serve. When you begin to see life itself as your real career, you start to understand that every challenge is a training ground for greatness. That heartbreak that shattered you was not punishment. It was preparation. That job you lost was not rejection. It was redirection. That season of waiting was not wasted time. It was divine timing. Everything that happens to you is a part of the curriculum designed for your soul's evolution. Nothing is meaningless, and nothing is accidental. The truth is, the divine uses every situation to refine your spirit and to align you with your highest path. Even the people who test you are part of your training. They are like mirrors reflecting back the places within you that still need healing, forgiveness, or growth. When you begin to see your life this way, frustration turns into faith and pain turns into purpose. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start declaring, "This is happening for me." your real career is not about earning a living. It's about learning to live. It's about becoming conscious of who you are, why you are here, and how you can serve. It's about living with meaning, intention, and awareness. The world may see success as wealth, fame, or power, but the soul measures success by peace, joy, and the love you share with others. When your heart is aligned with your actions, you are already succeeding, no matter what your circumstances look like. You are constantly being guided, even when you can't see it. There is a divine hand moving behind the scenes, arranging people, events, and opportunities in ways that you cannot comprehend. Sometimes it will remove what you think you need so that you can discover what you truly deserve. Other times, it will close doors to protect you from paths that are not yours. Life is always working for you, even when it feels like it's working against you. The universe never makes mistakes. It only makes miracles disguised as detours. When you recognize that your entire life is the real career, you stop rushing the process. You begin to trust the timing of your journey. You understand that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. You start focusing less on the outcome and more on the lessons, the growth, and the evolution of your soul. You stop comparing your path to others because you realize that your story was written by a different hand. One that knows exactly where you're going and how you'll get there. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be. Every experience, no matter how small or painful, is guiding you toward your highest self. The lessons you've learned, the wisdom you've gained, the love you've given, and the strength you've developed, these are your true qualifications. The divine does not reward business, it rewards awareness. You are not being asked to do more. You are being asked to be more present, more grateful, more conscious, and more aligned with love. So don't measure your life by promotions, titles, or possessions. Measure it by the amount of peace you feel when you wake up in the morning, by the love you share, by the growth you've achieved, and by the lives you've touched. You are not on this earth to build a resume. You are here to build a legacy of light. Every day is a divine opportunity to express your truth, share your gifts, and walk in faith. The divine is your true employer, and the salary it offers is abundance in all forms, joy, peace, health, love, and fulfillment. When you surrender your plan for God's plan, life becomes your greatest masterpiece. You are not working for the world anymore. You are working with the universe. And in that alignment, you will find the only career that truly matters, the one that allows your soul to shine.